level 1, they were a little skittish about the way they want to initiate. So much of these teams has really just evolved to a point where they put wards in quadrants of the map that they know or don't know that players are, and they kind of avoid each other at level 1. Considering all the invading, it's really quite awesome to watch how they manage to almost never fight each other, especially when you add in saplings. You look, there's all regular wards on X Special side and a pink ward over on Lustboy, so we'll see if that plays in. Lustboy actually with a very early ward up top, which tells me that they might be going for a very aggressive top lane with Flame and then 2-men bottom. I don't know if we're going to see lane swaps or not. Dyrus is already in the bottom lane. We might see that.
Well, we already just sort of teleport straight back there. So Lustboy going down towards the bottom. I think they were trying to get vision of maybe where anyone was. I think they're going to spot Chaos in that top lane early on, so it will be a 2v1. But if you are just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, at IGN.com/IPL League of Legends, we are on stream 1. It is AZB Blaze as the blue team 1-0 up currently against Team Solo Mid as the red team, the home favorites, I guess you could say, fighting to stay in this tournament. Joe, as it is, they're stacking up. Looks like it's going to be a late invade here.
It certainly looks that way. TSM edging down here on that left-hand side, but as Jack rightly pointed out, we see so often teams in the opposition's jungle without anything really happening there, just getting in there to get those wards. Will they try and take the buffs away? We can see AZB here starting off on the raid side. Good help there from Ambition will get Helios started off nicely, and TSM, it certainly looks like they're going to be headed off towards that blue buff side. And
they actually want to take both blue buffs right now, so TSM going for a delayed invade on blue, and Dyrus taking his own team's blue. If they can pull this off, that would be a great level 1 gambit, and it looks like they did. They correctly predicted that Helios would start on his red buff, and they're going to starve his jungle here at this point, because it's very troubling for him to get up to the other team's red. Both blues taken. Dyrus will go back to base and then teleport to lane with blue. That's a great level 1 play by TSM.
He didn't actually buy any health potions at the start, Dyrus, so he's starting out with 0 health pots. Now he stacks in 4. So interesting play to begin with. Not sure.
He also switched out the teleport, by the way. I saw it the last second.
Oh, never mind. He's going to walk back to lane then.
He is going to want that teleport. So let's have a look at the lanes as they work out. It's going to be Flame in that top lane. Helios having a little poke around, realizing blue buff has gone, can't counter it, and that's going to put him behind straight away. We are seeing Dyrus going around, actually leashing out the wolves as well. But let's have a look. Oh, Helios is lingering off the side here.
He's got to watch out. Dyrus does about a potential dive. This is what happens. Dyrus smells it, though. They've been dove 3 men in the bottom for too long. The odd one's going to come down, so Dyrus can actually get some experience. And the reason Helios is there is he actually tried to get the enemy blue buff since he saw the odd one stole his, but that's why TSM started Dyrus there. Helios is pretty far behind already.
Yeah, and there was a walk down at the bottom side of that tri-bush, spotted him as he went out there, so they know that he's safe, that Nocturne will be leaving that area, and Helios is going to go back on his travels around. So, let's have a look here in towards his top lane, obviously the other 2v1 lane. That's Flame on Irelia against Xpecial's Lulu and Chaos' Ezreal, and between the two, I mean, Jack, what's your opinion on Olaf versus Irelia in these 1 versus 2 lanes? Surely Olaf is going to have the better time there.
Olaf can definitely farm better from a range. It's not a good thing for Irelia. She's pretty good at last hitting at her turret, but you can just see in top the harass that Flame has already taken. And Helios is there in case there was a 3-man dive coming around. This would be the moment that it would arrive there, so he was there pretty much as insurance, making sure Flame can get mating kills there. And I gotta say, it's going to be a race for pushing right here. Both these guys just looking to take down a turret. I don't think they're going to try to dive. This could be an accelerated game with maybe both top turrets falling pretty early.
So the question is, if that's how it's working in the top and the bottom, what is happening in the middle? As it is, Ambition out-farming Reginald. But Reginald, as soon as he hits 6, it's going to be so hard just to keep him away from the farm. You know, once he starts getting a couple of points into that ball, there it is, you can see just farming it out. He can just quite passively sit back, throw the ball down and watch the world burn, because he's just going to be picking up the CS quite happily. Yeah, pings go down, Helios spotted out there. The odd one going to try and sneak down towards the bottom, but immediately stood on top towards that tri-ward.
Really good ward there by AZB. They realize that they're going to be pushed up the entire time, so if they ward that spot and the river, there's no way of getting snuck up on. And in the mid lane, actually a pro tip from Pobelter, if you want to dodge Diana's Q's, juke to the right is what he was telling Scarra. That's how you bait out the fishes. Let's just see if Helios can do anything bottom lane, but they know odd ones just camping that brush and they're not giving any tips.
Yeah, it's so hard for him to get in. Actually, Ghost is going to be popped here by Dyrus. Helios is there, though, and there is Exhaust down on towards Dyrus. The Valkyrie in. And is it first blood? Yes, it is for Corki. Odd One trying to do as much damage as he can. Captain Jack fairly low, can't afford a tower hit here, as the heal will maybe help them out with those minions coming around, but I don't think they're going to push down for a kill. Great move, great counter gank from AZB Blaze.
And now is the Odd One just sitting on top of a ward for so long. Helios just, they waited until he could come down, and then they somehow baited him into ghosting in at just the right moment. And with all three of them being here, I don't know how well Odd One can defend this. He might look to get dove, or they're just going to shove down this turret as fast as possible.
Well, they're trying to put as much damage down on that tower. You did see the realize Reginald was heading down there, so immediately forced them to back off. Flame trying to be as defensive as he can in his top lane. They are keeping up the CS, and he's keeping up the levels as well, and putting a bit of damage down on towards X Special. But he's taking a heck of a lot of damage. He's going to have to back off. He's managed to get a big creep wave. I expect he will go back, but he seems to be sticking around. Let's have a look in his mid lane. How's he working out? 37 to 35. Ambition keeping up the farm against Reginald. We saw that Ambition has hit level 6 right now. Joe, what are we expecting at the moment? We've seen Helios. He's come around. He's managed to help out once. The Odd One seems to be trying to counter as much as possible. We are seeing a ping down that bottom lane. But the back and forth between these two, it seems to me that AZB is winning out this 2v1 exchange.
Yeah, and we see there as well that there is a ward down in his top side of the river, which means Helios won't really have any luck in his top lane. On the other hand, no ward that should have spotted Odd One by now, so maybe AZB will fall foul of this one here in a couple of moments, but I don't think that Lustboy and Captain Jack are necessarily going to be pushing out too heavily, as Odd One is going to be creeping in around the back demon.
Here comes the Odd One coming around the side there, does manage to get twisted, advance on towards Lustboy, gets the knock-up, great bit of damage coming out from Dyrus there, and Dyrus picks up the kill, the first counter kill. Meanwhile at the top there, Flame trying to return the damage on towards Chaos. Helios coming in to try and help him out, not enough though. Jat, it's been a back and forth. We have seen the first back though by Diana in the mid.
That was just an unreal amount of damage that came out all at once. Dyrus not putting any points into his W, all of the points going into Undertow and his E, so that's one of the reasons he spiked him so hard there. Reginald getting that mid lane right now, and we'll see how it works against Ambition, because last game it was at one point 340 to 170 between Ambition and Reginald. Morgana is a very potent farmer for Reggie though. He's only down 7 CS right now, just picked up those source shoes. We'll see how that mid lane plays out.
Yeah, and Irelia are actually catching up here very nicely as well. I mean, there's a Doran shield, as you said, coming now onto all left, but with this Irelia now having time to farm in the lane, is that a mistake, Jack, from TSM to let Flame have that time?
It's going to be interesting, but the thing is, they're still pretty neck and neck between each other. If you just compare Flame and Dyrus, or even any of the 80 carries in this matchup, this game is much closer than the last one in the sense that it's almost identical farm-wise. Even the junglers both rush tier 2 boots, just different versions of each other. Boots and mobility coming out very early on the Odd One. He's going to look to put out a lot of ganks, and here comes another one. He might catch Captain Jack or Lustboy here. No, they get damage on him.
The Odd One with the boots and mobility, of course, going to get the twisted advance down towards Captain Jack, but the damage back on towards the Odd One. Captain Jack on towards Dyrus, Valkyrie's away, and just avoids the damage. He can turn it back on towards Dyrus there. He hasn't quite got 6, so there's no crescendo for Lustboy. Helios comes back in. They're all going to have to back away from this one. They're all about to hit 6, so there's a whole stack of ultimates going to be available. I think Dyrus is just going to have to back off this turret.
And it's so low already. That's the first turret of the game for AZB Blaze, seemingly going as planned. And in mid lane, both of these guys with blue buffs, and Ambition actually just bullying Reginald a bit. He's taken his rates at least once, landing those Qs, and they're actually going 3 men for Dragon. Everyone on TSM trying to run down. You can see Chaos trying to make it. They're going to look to contest this. AZB might have to peel off.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to, as the Binding will land there on towards Ambition. They're actually going to go in with the ulti, but he will dash away, but he's going very, very low. There's the kill from Dyrus. Dragon hasn't been finished off and will actually reset as Flame tries to get in onto Dyrus. Will the Ignite kill him? One more tick. No, he gets away, and now Flame is going to go down as a twisted advance comes in. Chaos picks up the kill, and TSM all of a sudden say, well, look at that, Dragon's reset, and we've got control of it.
So much of that was TSM just reacting to AZB's aggression there. They got Chaos to just run down in that fight, and Reggie did a great job of splitting off Ambition at the start of that fight and making sure he couldn't collapse in on them. Really having the 2 members up top, ended up baiting AZB Blaze into forcing that Dragon. That's a lead for TSM, I think the first one they've had.
So possibly the aggression of AZB Blaze backfiring on them there. Getting too deep. After that one small advantage, they did try and take the Dragon down. They were only level 5 and 6. They hadn't even hit 6, 2 of them there, so they didn't have Crescendo. They didn't have the Nocturne. Is it Paranoia, is it? I believe it is.
Darkness.
Darkness, of course. How could I forget? Chaos is Darkness, of
Paranoia.
course. IEM Kiev.
It's Paranoia.
It is Paranoia. You son of a gun.
Whoops. Anyway, he's about to hit 6. There it is. Now he's got his Paranoia on Nocturne. We'll see if he puts any goodness on there.
Trolled like a pro. It's nice to sit here at the side.
Because I don't have a computer in front of me, I can't check it. I've just got a straight blank screen. He sits there all confident when he can check it all with his mouse overs.
So pick one down in this top lane then for Chaos and Xpecial. Obviously, that bottom outer turret has gone down, which means we are going to see the AD carry and support coming back into this top lane for AZB. And actually, Helios now is level 6, as Demon mentioned. He's going to be waiting here in the wings to possibly get something off.
They could combo a Crescendo if they get Chaos to commit a little bit. They're really waiting for them to get in range. Here comes top.
There they go, diving in there. It's going to be Helios getting straight into Xpecial. The Lulu ultimate is not going to be enough. Simple, easy kill for Helios. Helios picks it up. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the ping's going down. You can see Reginald's going to pop that ultimate. It's going to ping on towards Ambition. He hasn't really got the time to follow it up. He's got to be careful. The Moonfall pulls Reginald back, but again, neither of them have that crazy burst damage to deal with each other. The Crescent Strike not landing, and both back off into their farming sessions.
There have just been some crazy bursts coming out in these ganks. Captain Jack maxing his Phosphorus Bomb in this case, and they might try to push in this top turret. The odd one coming around the side, gonna try to stop them from diving Chaos, but this turret's falling pretty fast.
It is falling fast. The sapling seems to have been enough here to force AZB to back away from it, as Reginald did come in once again. Actually, Ambition going to go nice. Black Shield coming down from Reginald, but will it be enough to hold him off here? Ambition is full HP, and Reginald forced to flash. And Ambition, whilst not maybe going for that kill there, has forced the flash out of Reginald, knowing that the next time that a situation arises, he's not going to have it up. As Flame, is he going to go aggressive here onto Darius in his bottom lane? Currently between them, the CS very, very even, 65 to 64. Darius obviously though does have the advantage with the kills, and as Ambition comes down, Darius heads away.
So all the minion kills are actually identical except for Ambition against Reginald. Almost once again, he's already 20 up. They're mirroring each other in builds, but it's just been Ambition getting the upper hand in farming against Reginald. That's really a great job for him. Reggie normally can put his aggression on these lanes. He'll have to come back in it like he did last game by forcing fights and creating kills. He's already done a bit of that with that Dragon fight, but he's going to have to continue because it's starting to become clear that Ambition has the upper hand in lane.
Yeah, so let's see. Both blue buffs are up and available. We can see Helios once again, but he's stood on top of a ward, so we do have the odd one actually mirroring it. He's just sitting off in the backside of that top lane. Flame, meanwhile in that bottom lane countering off there, but TSM, they're expecting something. They have actually backed off. Helios, he's going to go around. They are going to get spotted again by the wall. Reginald coming out there is going to get a reward down. And they're just going to carry on about their way. So blue buff going to be transferred across. It's going to be Ambition picking that one up. Ambition with a much stronger farm session currently, though. 117 to 90 in that mid lane. Seems to be working out very well. Helios getting a bit of a lane tax, as it were, as he comes down around there. Blue buff being given across to Reginald. You can see Dyrus backing off there, happy to let the lane be pushed back a little bit by Flame there. Keep him pretty much even in the CS, but still at 10 CS advantage, and the GP10 items across the board for Team Solo Mid starting to stack up.
They're going to have to be careful, though. Once again, they went with 3 champions with these GP10 items, so it's careful if they have to push. But Ambition coming in behind Chaos and Xpecial. Odd one there to stop. They saw him. Ambition didn't see it. Here comes a dive.
Here we go. Ambition getting in there. Actually will get CC'd up by Odd One. Are they going to try and get in onto Xpecial? Yes, they are. There's a crescendo going down from Lustboy, but he's going to take a lot of turret damage. Luckily for him, it was Ambition who starts getting in. Oh, there comes the ultimate across. Lustboy is still alive as the heal comes out. And there is Reginald chasing down Helios, Demon.
Helios, meanwhile, you can see Paranoia is going to turn it back on towards Reginald.
Wow.
Tries to come around. One more hit. Will it be enough? He's in the poison, but no. He's just not surviving enough. The damage wasn't there. A great fight for Helios down the bottom. Dyrus on towards Flame. Dyrus returns it. That was a much-needed kill because it was going badly wrong for Team Solo Mid. Dyrus can put pressure on the bottom turret.
Crazy fight in the jungle, and it's almost like they traded one for the other, even though they were completely unrelated to each other. Just amazing coordination by AZB. Lustboy's crescendos have comboed so well with Helios' Paranoia. That Darkness on Nocturne has just obliterated X Special. He didn't even get his ult off that time, but then Dyrus was just able to straight up 1v1 Flame in that case, even though he had 2 GP10 items, and this could be a close one. I wouldn't be surprised if Dyrus turns this around on him.
And here we go, Helios got to go in there, and Dyrus is going to turn it around him, but there's the fear. Oh, and he's one last hit. Dyrus gets the kill. Wow, would you believe it?
Would you believe it? And that's the bonus of Olaf.
Wow.
The lower he gets, the stronger he gets. Just about hanging off the Q from Helios. It didn't land, which is where the damage poke just didn't quite come through. The chance of Dyrus, Daddy Dyrus in the house. He'll be proud of his son for that one.
Dyrus really needing to carry TSM in this one because the gold is dead even, but all the kills are onto Dyrus. You can see he's at 5,200 gold. It's almost going to be Dyrus versus Captain Jack this game because 301 Corki with 5,500 gold. It's going to be one of those races, you see this so many times. Olaf's job now is to kill Captain Jack. And for a while, Dyrus is going to have the edge on that, but there will reach a point in this game where Captain Jack can kill Dyrus before Dyrus kills him, and that's when TSM will have to worry. But because of those 4 kills on Olaf, the immediate upper hand goes to TSM.
And let's have a look through the items there. We've just seen Captain Jet come back out of base with all 3 parts of his Trinity Force finished. Just needs to get that extra gold in there to finish the item itself. Now, Dragon is up and available. The question is who's going to have control? We have pink wards down there already for AZB.
And you actually see Flame up top, knowing he can split push and there's no teleport. This is going to be a forced dragon by TSM. If AZB tries to stop this, Reggie would peel with his ultimate. It looks like they're just going to completely give this one up.
And it certainly is going to be that way. That pink ward not going to give them what they want. Flame, as you said, pushing up the top. TSM are going to be taking the dragon, and Ambition taking away the red buff at the same time. This is going to leave us at pretty much even gold, around about a 200 or a 300 difference. Question is now, Demon, will TSM push this middle turret?
Well, they're trying to go in there. You can see TSM putting the pressure down. It's to be a good trade if they can make it count. Flame, meanwhile, pushing on the inner turret. They realize they're going to have to react to this one. Dyrus is going to get up there. Is anyone going to be able to cut him off? You can see why they thought about it. They thought about heading off towards that top, trying to pin down Flame, but Flame continuing that farm. But a 4-1-0 Dyrus. Is Dyrus enough to carry them through this game? When he gets strong, when he gets fed on Olaf, he can be incredibly strong. He's building that way. We're seeing the damage coming across the whole team. Have TSM got it in them?
Flash initiate by Reggie.
Here we go then. And Captain Jack, actually Valkyrie's away there from the ultimate range of Reginald. Well, not the ideal position there for TSM, to be honest, to have that ultimate of Reginald down. It's, I think we mentioned it in the pre-game that Reginald's going to be a big part of this setup for TSM when it gets to those team fights, Jack.
And it's going to be so crazy because we see the 3 members of AZB that are Flame, Helios, and Ambition. They're all going to want to dive through, which once Reggie kind of splits the team up, it's going to be him trying to contain the 3 divers while Dyrus just goes in and essentially has a 1v2 between Captain Jack, Lustboy, and himself. I think that's really how these team fights are going to end up breaking out, and it's just with where the farm is, that's exactly what's it. They're invading around blue, just missing the wards. This is a tense, tense match right now.
A tense time as they nearly walked into that ward, but Chaos cleverly arcane shot that bush, make sure he wasn't going to get caught out. Mystic Shock even, mixing up the spells. Helios, though, with that red buff, hasn't managed to really make himself count as much as he would like to, I think. Wants to try and get that paranoia down. The lane phase now starting to come away from him. That's where he's really going to pick up all of his kills. And the versatility, the utility of the odd one on Maokai, that ultimate that he's got is going to help them so much more in the team fights.
It is one of those things, if TSM can control the zones of the fights, which they may be able to do considering the dive potential of AZB, if they just keep themselves in the right spot and Reggie zone controls the right way. All the control is on TSM and all of the surprise fights are on AZB's side, so it's going to be really tricky to see who actually comes out. The interesting thing here, though, is Helios doesn't have an Oracles. The first Oracles has been picked up now by Lustboy, whereas the odd one on TSM's side has the Oracles himself. So with how squishy Lustboy might be, it'll be interesting to see if Dyrus can go through and just get rid of that Oracles right away.
So Corki now finishing that Trinity Force 301 has allowed him to do that. Ezreal on the other side, Phage and a BF sword. So at this point in the game, AZB Frost may be feeling Well, sorry, AZB Blaze. AZB Frost might be feeling that their brother team have the edge here, Demon. But certainly, AZB Blaze's point of view, they might also be feeling that they've got the edge. Got myself out of that one like a pro.
You were digging a hole there, but you managed to get out well there, Joe. Nobody noticed, don't worry. AZB Blaze, though, yeah, they are starting to push the advantage. They're trying to push it. They have got that Trinity Force complete, which is something that, you know, you can see Kerrick's had to switch out his build. Well, whether he's switching out his build, he's probably building that towards the beginning. But the fact that Trinity Force has been complete, tons of damage is available to him. He could put pressure on towards these turrets. As it is, Jat, they are trying to pressure that mid.
And Reginald rushing the Abyssal Scepter means he can't really go all in for those team fights yet, since he doesn't have enough farm for Zhonya's Hourglass. And with how much pressure AZB is pressing on right now, having the 2 turrets already and going for a third, they're going to try to starve Reginald out of farm once again. You can see he's already 50 back on Ambition. They're going to have to land a good binding and just go off that, but because KX was top, they're really straddled in here. So TSM knows they have to get something going for Reggie, but their full teamfight initiation plan can't work yet until he gets that Zhonya's.
Yeah, and the flash not available to Reginald either, so there's not going to be any flash ultimatums. He's not going to be diving in there. AZB Blaze disengaged from this mid lane. They've got to be careful they don't completely back off. Everybody has left that mid lane. And Reginald will maybe take advantage of that, pick up as much free farm as he can. The rest of AZB backing off. So items being completed here. Let's look across the board. We've got a Warmogs on Dyrus. He is going to be so strong come that next team fight. Bloodthirster being completed by Chaos as well. So Team Solo Mid starting to pick up a couple of those end game items, starting to stack them out there. Tons of wards across the map being picked up by AZB, and continuing, they always go back. Every time they go back, they always pick up that health bot.
And one thing that Dyrus has to make sure he does with this Warmogs is get armor. He knows his job is to go through for Captain Jack. Ambition isn't going to be trying to kill Dyrus, so all he has to worry about is physical damage. If he can get huge amounts of armor with that 3,200 health he already has, he's going to do great for himself. They actually see Ambition a little bit out of position. They got the mid turret already. They're posturing around, trying to find another team fight. Game is still 1,000 away. TSM still holding on to that lead. Ambition just made it out there.
Nice. But gets away from that accent. You know, this Dragon gonna be due up in not so much time, which means both teams need to have that vision down. Actually, you can see that it's mostly blue wards down there. As Steven mentioned, I think every single player had wards, maybe outside of Ambition, who will just be coming back in towards this one. But there's no vision currently there for TSM, which may come back to bite them later on. Look at the goal. It's 1,200 difference right now, which means a Dragon will pretty much bring us bang even in this game.
Yeah, you got to feel the next Dragon fight will certainly be the target they're going to go for. You can see they're stacking up for it. And it's a worrying situation that when a ward kill gets a bigger cheer than a turret kill in this game. It is 2-2 in terms of turrets, and AZB Blaze are pushing on towards that turret. Are they going to maybe go for an engage here, Jat?
They really haven't been able to get much damage down onto this turret, so if anything, they're going to wait for the next Dragon and try to catch someone around these bends. This is where Reginald likes getting those bindings down, and already the harass goes down on Lust Boy. We might see a fight.
Yeah, they've seen that Lust Boy has that one. Reginald getting in there with the ultimate. Is he going to go off? No, I don't think he actually caught anyone in there. One dying though. Reginald will fall as well. Ambition going low. Odd One actually managing to survive as Chaos gets picked off by the rockets from Corki. I think that's all she wrote from AZB though.
So 2-4-2 after that fight. All ultimates being used, but Captain Jack really didn't get touched that fight. The initiation didn't quite land on him, and Dyrus couldn't make his way through the team to get there. That's going to be a turret for AZB, and probably a Dragon after this too. So even though the fight is 2-for-2, the big win goes out to AZB Blaze.
So, interesting engage there. They did manage to catch out, but the problem is, all that damage done on Lust Boy, he flashed away, then crescendoed across the entire team. He avoided it, despite the fact he was the initial focus of target. Got taken so low, but just couldn't get killed off. Dragon and the turret picked up off the back of that fight, so much stronger. And the gold advantage, still very even though, 500 gold. AZB Blaze now in the lead. The question is, what can Team Solo Mid do about this? Are they going to set up? They're going to try and dive on towards Helios in this top lane, Joe.
Yes, they are, and that turret doesn't have much HP. There's no minions there anyway, so they're going to start, first of all, attacking on Dyrus. What is Helios' idea here? He's going to come back in towards the tower there, trying his best to get away, and I tell you what, he's going to manage to escape from that one. The turret, unfortunately for them, though, won't have that same fate, or will it, as Ambition comes in, Demon?
That was a pretty clever, that was a pretty clever stop by the Odd One, or sorry, by Helios getting away there. He managed to get the turret on the Odd One, who was not the person they wanted tanking it, which is one of the reasons they were just kind of letting him walk away. They couldn't chase with both, otherwise the Odd One would have endangered his life after that. So even though they tried to come in on that one, they really weren't able to pull off anything top lane, not even getting the turret. They're a little bit trapped right here until they can get their Zhonya's Hourglass onto Reginald. So I don't know how they're going to start this until they get the farm onto Reggie.
So a little bit of armor coming out for the Odd One. He's starting to stack that up, but Dyrus now with a Shurelya's Reverie. Trinity Force for Flame as well. So double Trinity Force stacked up for Azubu Blaze, which could well spell trouble for Team Solo mid. The damage, they have a big spike. Reginald's off on the bottom lane at the moment, and Azubu Blaze realize that. They caught him farming. They're going to put pressure on towards this mid turret. Have they got enough to close it out? I don't think so. Immediately Captain Jack, though, but they've managed to shred about a third health off Joe. And as it stands, they are starting to close in, but they're going to back off.
Yeah, they're going to back off. This is a real tense time of this game. One false move from either side could spell disasters. We see their Ambition headed down into that bottom lane, a big creep wave for him to take. Again, look at the difference in CS that he has over Reginald. We saw that in game number 1 as well. 221 to 160. That's over 60 CS. That is a massive, massive lead. Yep. If we check their gold between them, considering the team gold is even right now, it could give us a good idea.
So Dyrus actually getting caught out by, he's going to have to burn his ultimate here and end up walking away. What this is going to create is a slight pressure window for Azubu. Dyrus can't go all the way in a team fight until that ultimate is back up. Chaos trying desperately to farm off in that side lane. He really wants to get to his items, but Azubu continually putting the pressure on. Already up 3 turrets to 2, and this mid turret's falling fast.
Azubu Blaze look like they want to go for this one. You can see the pressure continuing going down, but there's the paranoia coming across. True shot barrage man to land. Reginald gets in between them. He has not got enough damage though, and immediately look at that huge Dyrus chomping through, takes down Helios. Chaos comes around the side. Chaos putting the damage down in the backside. Team Solo mid coming back onto this one. Flame getting caught out by the Odd One. Have they got enough? Dyrus is on a charge. If the axe lands, yes, he will. On towards Ambition. Another one comes down. Ambition realizes it. Tries to go back for the Odd One, but he can't turn it out. It's a 3-for-1 for Team Solo mid. Can they turn towards the Baron?
I think they're too low for the Baron, but that fight was awesome for TSM. They caught Azubu in trying to initiate on them as well. Reggie had a good counter initiation. Even though he died immediately, he did get his ultimate and the temporary slow onto all of them before he died, and then Dyrus just cruised in with the Lulu afterward. He's now 6-1. He is turning into a monster, and it's so good that they have X Specials Lulu with him to speed him up, to make him huge, to give him that pulsing slow. It's really going to be all about Dyrus, and man, it's going to take a while because of the way Ambition is out farming Reginald, but once they get that Zhonya's Hourglass, those team fights are going to be tough for Azubu.
Yep, TSM just taking down the outer turret in the top lane as well. Dyrus forced that minion wave through to it. You can see Reginald taking that much needed farm here as well. Getting himself right back up towards direction Diana, I think we can call it at this stage. 8,100 to 7,600 is the current total of gold between them. Actually, the score's pretty similar as well. Just 3 assists more on with Reginald. We are seeing wards being cleared out. Oracle with Lost Boy. TSM certainly not in a position to be giving up anything at this stage.
Actually, with the gold lead still, they're holding on to this 1,000 gold lead. It's been stagnant at that for, I'd say, the last 10 or 15 minutes. Even with a few missteps, they've been able to come back at this. And a little bit strange, Dyrus actually going for a Frozen Heart, but he's got the Glacial Shroud, making sure he's hitting that 40% CDR, especially with the blue buff, just able to spam skills. So much of this is really just him having to run through the world. Clearing out Dragon with the Oracles. They know Flame is top. They know he's shopping back. They might have a small window to try to do something, but really, this is just passive back and forth. They're waiting until they hit those big item breakpoints before they do anything big.
So a couple of items coming out as well. We've just seen the Trinity Force, obviously, in Chaos now starting to get complete. Trinity Force and Bloodthirster, whereas you look at towards Captain Jack, he's trying to go for that Infinity Edge. At this moment, surely that means the power is in the hands of TSM. Do they want to go looking for a team fight?
And it's only going to be brief power is the thing, though, because he's still 1,000 gold behind Captain Jack, but just because the Infinity Edge hasn't been completed, it's like 300 gold away. They'd have to do it almost immediately, but the problem with that is they really need Reginald Zhonya's Hourglass if they want to initiate anything, and by the time he has that, Captain Jack will have his Infinity Edge, and he'll have the edge in the team fight, so it's really damned if you do, damned if you don't. Almost a bit of a pause in this game. Both teams waiting for things because Captain Jack wants Infinity. He just got it. Now Azubu might go.
Well, Dragon is up on 29 minutes, 39 seconds. And we'll be seeing both teams, I'm sure, headed down towards that region here in just a few moments to have a go on that one. There is AZB already headed south for that one. And also TSM going to be doing a similar thing. There is the Dragon up. And TSM have the positional advantage, at least for now, in there. But there are wards in the pit itself.
And this will be tricky. TSM still doesn't have, I'm harping on it, but the Zhonya's is so important for Reginald. The way they initiated the fight last time here is they landed the binding and then had Dyrus go in from there.
Oh.
If they can get another one, they're just fishing for that. AZB might actually corner themselves between the base and TSM and force a fight that way because they know they have a bit of an edge here despite the 200 gold disparity. They're just poking back and forth, one of them fishing. Something lands, they might go in a second.
Trying to bait them back and forth. You can see the damage, the poke. And really, it's a dangerous, dangerous poke game. Neither team have vision between them two bushes. You can see both wards have been cleared out, trying to get that division back in there. They do manage to catch on towards Ambition. The damage, keep poking back and forth, but they can keep the regrowth going. They can keep Lustboy topping him off with that health. They've got that little bit of support. They need to just find the perfect pick. And Jat, who would be the perfect target here for Team Solo Mid?
It's really tricky, but if they can get something onto Captain Jack would be completely ideal. But if they can get Ambition in the position to kill him, it'll also be vulnerable. The last time they got a bind onto Lustboy and they got burned by the Crescendo, so they have to be incredibly careful. It's almost like TSM is just kind of trying to stall this as long as possible, hoping AZB starts the Dragon. They might go in for a fight from there, but either way, it's looking like neither one of these teams really wants to fight. There's Ambition!
Ambition going in there. There is the ultimate coming out from everyone. 2 kills straight away. Irelia in there. There's a triple kill for Irelia. They're going to move around onto Dyrus. Chaos having to shift himself away, but Dyrus is going to go down. It's the quadra kill. Where is the final hit from Captain Jack? Doesn't quite manage it. Chaos will survive, but that is a 4 for 1.
And that just chained off of Ambition's Diana. I was saying neither team really wants to fight, and then poof, it happened over a wall, actually. They went in with the vacuum, comboed it with the Crescendo, AoE'd it down with Captain Jack, and then Flame was really just blade surging to finish it all off. Everyone on TSM still dead. Nobody dead on AZB. They could take a Baron off of this. That was just a moment. It has taken Reginald so long to get to their item. Everything revolves around him having that Zhonya's for the team fight ability, and it might be too late now, still not having it. AZB with the Baron.
Phenomenal stuff from AZB Blaze, really catching them in the right place at the right time. Big power spike now. That gives them a 4k gold advantage. It gives them the buff. It gives AZB Flame a heck of a lot than he needs. He's going to have a stack of gold on him. He's going to go back and buy probably a Guardian Angel, do you think, coming out here, John?
For, I believe, yeah, Flame absolutely will get a Guardian Angel. They're going to be stacking a couple of them, actually. Captain Jack has the chain vest. Even Diana's going for one. They're going to be going for 3 Guardian Angels, absolutely. Flame already completing his. They could look to dive some turrets once they have all these cooldowns back up. Just that combo of initiation really just showed that TSM doesn't have the ability to deal with those triple divers quite yet. Zhonya's finally completed onto Reggie, but it might be too little too late.
Let's see if they can change that around here. Captain Jack getting himself more farm. He's ahead of Ezreal. Actually, between the mid laners, that's one topic that we were pretty hot on earlier on. It's currently quite a big difference still, 270 to 187. Dragon is being taken down here as well by AZB. And Flame pushing this middle lane out, as you mentioned, Irelia with Triforce with Guardian Angel, that's like the build that you want to get to. Anything over that is going to be a bonus.
And let's look at Dyrus. You can see he's managed to get that Frozen Heart out. He's trying his best. He's trying to be that tanky man, trying to get involved. But the problem is that Ambition is bypassing everything. He's getting straight in there. And honestly, you know, TSM, we just saw in the last fight, I think 4 of them were caught in that Crescendo. That is less than ideal. You do not want to be caught in that sort of situation. And
4 of them were actually caught in Ambition's E as well, and that's what set up everything. It's that circular AoE combo that went in, and it's the triple dive. So it's really Dyrus versus 2 members, and then the rest of the team versus you. And there they come again.
Here we go, we're going in. Chaos taking a lot of damage. Crescendo, Morgana ultimate is actually going to hit pretty much no one. And this is surely some more kills. There's a Zhonya's pop by Reginald. Dyrus going to get 1. It's 1 for 1 currently, Demon.
Yeah, he's managing to catch onto it. Ambition using his Zhonya's as well on the turret. Can they turn it into a kill? No, they can't, because he's turned it straight back around. Takes down the odd one, gets a double, and there comes Flame. Flame comes in. That's a triple kill for Ambition. AZB Blaze taking down the tower, doing work, and well, I gotta say it, that was the day you're not gonna catch Captain Jack Sparrow, because he is 4-0-11, and AZB Blaze are gonna close out the game. Team Solo Mid, the defending champions, are out of IPL 5.
And that was a fight. They waited the whole game for Reginald to get his Zhonya's Hourglass, and then they just dove right through it. He popped his ult, and they were gone. They dove onto all the important targets. Chaos didn't even get to attack. He died during the channel of his ultimate that fight. And that was just a wait, go for AZB the entire game. And when they went, it was over.